Your cat just walked across your keyboard, deleted 2 hours of work, and is now staring at you like you owe them an apology. And you're not even angry. If that sounds familiar, there's a reason. And it has nothing to do with cat videos or internet culture. It has to do with how your brain is wired to handle the world. Here's what most people get wrong about cat people. They think it's about preferring animals over humans. About being antisocial or aloof. But research tells a different story. Cat lovers aren't avoiding connection. They're seeking a specific type of connection. One that doesn't come with a performance requirement. Psychologist Samuel Gosling studied this for years. He found that cat people score significantly higher in openness and neuroticism. Translation? They're more curious, more creative, and more sensitive to overstimulation. Dogs demand. Cats coexist. For someone whose nervous system is already processing 1,000 inputs a day, that difference is everything. Let's talk about what actually happens in your brain when a cat enters the room. Your amygdala, the part that scans for threat, doesn't register demand. There's no expectation to engage, no social script to follow, no energy you need to match. Instead, your parasympathetic nervous system activates. Heart rate drops. Breathing deepens. Cortisol levels fall. This isn't just relaxation. It's regulation. And for people who spend most of their day in a state of low-grade anxiety, managing other people's emotions, anticipating needs, staying hypervigilant, this kind of nervous system reset is rare. Dogs offer comfort through enthusiasm. Cats offer it through indifference. One requires you to receive energy. The other allows you to simply exist. Guess which one an overstimulated brain craves? There's a concept in psychology called locus of control. It's about whether you feel like you're steering your life or being dragged by it. Cat people tend to have an internal locus of control. They don't need external validation to feel stable. They regulate from the inside. A dog will love you unconditionally, immediately, with zero effort required. That sounds beautiful until you realize it also means the relationship has no feedback loop. No earned trust. No negotiation. Cats make you work for it. They notice when you're distracted. They leave when you're too intense. They return when you're calm. This isn't rejection. It's teaching you attunement. And for people who spend their whole lives reading rooms, managing expectations, and performing emotional labor for others, a relationship based on mutual respect feels like oxygen. You learn to read a flick of the tail. A shift in posture. The difference between a slow blink and a stare. This is earned intimacy. And it matters more than people realize. Here's the uncomfortable part. Most cat people were the kids who learned early that their needs were secondary. That expressing too much was risky. That staying quiet kept things stable. They didn't become cat people because they hate humans. They became cat people because they're exhausted by relationships that require constant reassurance, explanation, or emotional management. A cat doesn't ask why you're quiet. It just sits next to you. That's not emotional avoidance. That's nervous system recovery. Research from the University of Texas shows that cat owners are more likely to be introverted, but not because they dislike people. Because they're more attuned to subtlety. They notice micro-expressions, tone shifts, unspoken tension. In human relationships, that sensitivity becomes a burden. You're always reading between the lines, managing dynamics, preventing conflict. With a cat, you can just be. No translation required. No performance expected. Now about that intelligence thing. Yes, studies show cat lovers score higher on cognitive tests. Denise Guastello at Carroll University found this repeatedly. But it's not causation. It's correlation. People who are introverted and analytical spend more time alone. Cats are the perfect companion for that. They don't interrupt flow states. They don't fragment focus. They exist alongside thinking without disrupting it. Deep work requires uninterrupted attention. Creativity needs mental space. Problem solving demands quiet. Cats don't pull you out of that. They anchor you in it. That's why so many writers, scientists, and artists have cats. Not because cats make you smarter. Because they protect the conditions intelligence needs to function. Hemingway had 57. Tesla loved them. Newton owns several. Mark Twain said if humans could be crossed with cats, it would improve humans but deteriorate the cat. Coincidence? Probably not. But there's something deeper happening here. Something about control and consent that most people miss. A cat never assumes access to you. Its affection is offered, not imposed. When it jumps on your lap, it does so without expecting conversation, eye contact, or emotional reciprocity. And when it leaves, it doesn't require an explanation. For people who grew up with blurred boundaries, who learned that saying no was selfish, who absorbed the idea that love means constant availability, this dynamic is revolutionary. A cat models what healthy attachment actually looks like. Present but not invasive. Affectionate but not dependent. Close but not consuming. You can't guilt a cat into staying. You can't manipulate it into needing you. It stays because it wants to. And that choice makes the connection real. There's also this. The purr. A cat's purr operates at frequencies between 25 and 50 Hz. Those low, repetitive vibrations trigger a parasympathetic response in humans. Before you consciously register comfort, your body begins to slow. Muscle tension releases. Stress hormones drop. It's co-regulation without conversation. Comfort without performance. And your nervous system learns fast. Once it associates a certain presence with safety, attachment follows naturally. This isn't about needing the cat. It's about your body recognizing an environment where it can finally stop scanning for danger. But here's the deeper truth beneath all of this. Loving cats isn't about preferring animals. It's about recognizing that intimacy doesn't have to mean intensity. That boundaries aren't walls. That someone can be present without being invasive. Cat people aren't cold. They're careful. They've learned that closeness without pressure is rarer than it should be. And when they find it, even in a 10-pound animal that knocks things off counters for fun, they hold on to it. Modern culture treats solitude like a problem to solve. Quiet gets labeled as loneliness. Independence gets mistaken for avoidance. But cat people know better. They know the difference between being alone and being lonely. Between needing space and rejecting connection. They've built lives where peace matters more than performance. Where they don't have to justify their moods or manage someone else's expectations just to deserve love. So the next time someone says, "You're such a cat person," as if it's an insult, just remember what they're actually noticing. You don't need to be needed to feel valuable. You don't confuse dependency with love. You've chosen a companion that respects your autonomy as much as you respect theirs. Your cat knows that already. Maybe it's time the rest of the world did too.